Thanks, Dan. David, obviously you said it was a happy day for you today, but well, tell me why you thought it was
it was a happy day for me. I said it was a great day for Michael because he's done extraordinary things for our game, and it's almost storybook for him to have his health, have his skills, and decide that he would like to retire at this point, and having done very well, both financially and the way he wants to live. I think that's something that most people aspire to.
There is obviously no blueprint for how to, years after Jordan. But just generally, do you think the league needs to refocus how it markets individuals as opposed to teams, or do you think it does enough of that now?
Well, it's interesting. We try to market teams and teamwork. This is a celebrity-driven time. When your network focuses on the evening news, it doesn't focus on teams, it focuses on individual plays, and the variety of new shows do that as well. But we'll try to return, I'd say, or push a little bit harder on the team concept. But what will happen is great teams and great stars will emerge, and so I think there is a blueprint because it's the one we've been following for the last 20 years.
How difficult or how much can this league absorb this year, coming off of the lockout and now this?
Well, we're going to find out. But as I said earlier to someone, this is a league that was basically discounted 20 years ago. It was too black. The salaries were too high at $260,000. Its championship series was tape delayed, and it was widely assumed that it would be going out of business. We're dealing from quite a different plateau now, with a phalanx of young stars really ready to take their places on I'd say the global stage, because now we're a global sport as well. So we're going to be in fine shape. It may take us a little bit of time to move along, because coming out of a lockout is always a problem, but we're going to ask our fans indulgence, and hopefully we can win our way back into their good graces.
David, you were in positions of authority and power in this league before Michael came into the league, but the balance of your time of commissioner has coincided with his time in the league. Is there any way to reflect on what he has meant to the league and to you personally?
Well, I was very lucky. When I became commissioner, I mean, we had Dr. J, and I thought that in June you were supposed to be either in Boston or in L.A. Okay, remember that in the 80s, and then we went to Detroit, and when Magic and Larry retired, everybody said, oh, the league's over. No one said Michael was going to carry it, but he did. He stepped into the spotlight and did a spectacular job, but with more than a couple of cameos by Akeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets. So to me, it was just it's been an extraordinary time for the NBA. And as it relates to Michael, I just would say that we, the number of times that we met so that I could give him his trophy, his car, his MVP for the finals or the playoffs. I used to, he would see me coming and say, okay, here comes my trophy valet, and there I was to crank it up one more time. It was a delight. I'll very much miss that, but I expect to be speaking to Michael next week on sort of a variety of things, because I think he's going to be very much involved in a broad sense. He said that he was going to support the Bulls, and he's going to support the NBA, and I'm going to take him up on that.
David Stern started as a ball boy for the Knicks, watching a lot of basketball. He's seen the best as we all have. Let's go back upstairs to Dan.